the name of Paine will always be indissolubly linked to those resonant words, the rights of man. The book which bears that noble title was, however, not just a paean to human liberty. It was partly a short-term polemic, directed in particular at Edmund Burke's Reflections on the Revolution in France, a very exceptional contribution to the energetic pamphlet wars that made the late 18th century, with its clubs and pubs and coffee houses and print shops, such an enlivening period in Britain and France and America. It was also partly a revisionist history of England, written from the viewpoint of those who had gained the least from the Norman conquest and the successive monarchical coups and usurpations. Then again, it was a manifesto, setting out the basic principles of reform and, if necessary, of revolution. It did not disdain to put forward certain practical and immediate programmatic suggestions, designated to alleviate suffering and injustice in the here and now. But it always kept its sights raised to a point somewhat beyond the immediate political and social horizon. It is, in that sense, one of the first modern texts. John Bunyan's Pilgrim's Progress may have kept alive the spirit of the English Revolution in countless poor and downtrodden homes, and the careful research of John Stuart Mill and others may have laid the basis for later Victorian social reform. But Thomas Paine's Rights of Man is both a trumpet of inspiration and a carefully wrought blueprint for a more rational and decent ordering of society, both domestically and on the international scene. Indeed, it opens as a kind of one-man peace mission devoted to the idea of warmer relations between Britain and France. Paine was a leading member of that British radical tradition that saw wars and armies as additional burdens on the people and as reinforcements of existing autocracies. What better way for a ruling class to claim and hold power than to pose as the defenders of the nation? And what better way to keep unschooled and unemployed serfs in line than to give them the king's shilling and put them into uniform under aristocratic commanders? The old folk expression, "he's gone to the wars," or "he's been in the wars," expresses by its plurality the vague fatalism about this, and the sense that every now and then it is expected that Johnny will be marched off, and perhaps, if God is merciful, will march back again. Southey's After Blenheim catches this perfectly, as does Thackeray's Barry Lyndon, and the fuddled old man in the alehouse in 1984, who blearily says to Winston Smith that "it's all wars."